Holy smokes, there's a lot going on. You bet I have a mouthful. I can only pray that I can collect my thoughts and articulate them quickly and efficiently. The assassination of you know who. My first thought is Mars, Martian. These people are obsessed with Mars and Martians. We believe that Mars has been cleared out. It's been kept made safe for like a type of migration. I, from recent life experience, do not understand a person to be dead if it's not for 3 days. Like when someone dies, I need 3 days to actually understand them to be have switched worlds because of life extension technology that is very Martian in nature, that exists, that is classified, that people don't know about. People can survive bullet wounds after a few days of rehabilitation. It's happened in the past, it can happen again. It's likely the life extension technology of the future. Now, in this weird world in the economy and the way that the chips are falling, I attribute my success to being an ordinary person, to never accepting a handler. I've been offered millions, millions. I'm not even joking. People would get mad at me for not accepting millions of dollars because millions meant I had to be controlled with my time and my money because of you. There were so many attempts, and I said no and no and no. And these people would get so frustrated that I didn't want to be like a famous person accepting millions from weird cults, weird people, like weird, like other, like random grants, government, Netflix wanted me to do a show, Sony. I was like, no, because I'm doing something different. I was uncovering like the truth of AI, and they were like, "Can you just like go into haunted houses?" And I'm like, "No, fuck you, because I'm not going into haunted houses when I'm studying AI, artificial intelligence." I was a bit of a prodigy about artificial intelligence. So why would I stop everything I'm doing to accept money from people and fame for going into haunted houses? It was not in the cards for me. So the economy is very interesting because I do believe it pays to be an ordinary person. This is my biggest criticism with the new age and the super soldier. I'm like, these people have so much to offer the world, but they keep themselves in this house of like, I'm a super soldier, when in reality, like, you have so much to give to the world just by being an ordinary person. You know, Steve Cambion with Truth Seekers did a whole thing on Sarah Adams, and she has this like superhuman package. You can pay Sarah Adams $2,500 to become a superhuman. And I'm like, what the F is wrong with just being an ordinary person? Like, what the hell is wrong with people and their egomania? No offense if you fell for this, it's the naive masses. What is so wrong with being just an ordinary person? Because as it would pan out, after all the no's that I've given, being an ordinary person is a pretty heavenly experience. It's a pretty heavenly life. It's pretty heavenly life just being an ordinary person with an economy of ordinary people who are normal, sustainable, they're curious, right? They're communicative, they can communicate, they're loving, they're proud of their families, they're excited for the future. What the frick is wrong with being an ordinary person? All these new agers and super soldiers and all these people in religions and cults, like, you got to get away from that and just be an ordinary person, dude. Just be an ordinary person. And I see all these like upcoming propaganda agendas within new age. I'm really like, for some reason, Lily Nova keeps pinging in my mind as like the next Sarah Adams. I'm like, this woman is dark and cold. She's like I don't even know what. She keeps regurgitating other people's information. And then today, Dr. Sala had posted that, like, oh, Lily Nova went out to Sedona and like summons UFOs. You can find UFOs wherever you go to find them. So I'm like bored. I know Michael Sala to be somebody as working for the light, but pretending he's not. I know Michael Sala is somebody who is going to hear the truth, and then he's going to go out and he's going to recite the inversion because his harvest is for that of the inversion. All these people are not bad people. They're liars on purpose. So it's no wonder I'm like, why I unfriended this chick on Facebook because she's so annoying. Sound bowls, like get the fuck out of here. She's like super skinny, like with her tits out and sound bowls. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Romanoff revelation, get the fuck out of here, dude. And then it's no wonder she's being propped up, especially by Michael Salas. She found these UFOs. She's a contactee. You're gonna get eaten by aliens. Like, these people are going to get you eaten by aliens. This is what I used to say about Corey Good. I'm like, if you keep following this cult leader, this cult of personality, you're going to get eaten by the aliens that you keep pretending to be a part of. And I feel like Lily Nova is right up there right now as like the next Sarah Adams. Like, they're propping her up as a means to collect a harvest for people to fall into the deception, to keep going with the nonsense, and it's insane. And I do know Michael Sala to be a good person who will go out there and he will perpetuate. It's almost like just the same thing with Miles Johnston, like these handlers, like they're doing it. They're not bad people, but they collect their assets, they prop up their assets because it's a dark harvest. I hope you understand. Miles Johnston props up his people because it's a dark harvest. Drago Reed, no offense. Drago Reed, I've had many interactions. I tried to warn him and he doesn't care. He's like, I'm just an asset. So he gets invited to the conference and Miles Johnston is like, you're the big guy of the conference. And I'm like, I couldn't save Drago Reed. He's got all this influence, but he doesn't believe himself to be anything but an asset. When I was over here, like, you actually have something to provide for humanity. And he's like, I'm just an asset. I'm just an asset. These are handlers handling their assets. It pays to be an ordinary person. Like, get out of this like nonsense. Get a job somewhere normal with normal people, because I believe that's where survival will continue. It will continue there. Like, just be a normal person, you know? Your economy, your survival ability is going to be within just being a good community member. You don't have to identify as a super soldier. You don't have to identify as a contactee. You can identify with those things and still be a normal person. Why do you have to be famous? Why do you have to be famous? Why do you have to be handled as an asset? That's dark. That's dark. That's a dark harvest. So I think I made my point. Funny things about the economy. My grandfather invested in something many years ago, and for years I would get $3 checks. Every year I get a check from Mass Mutual. Today I got a $80 check from Mass Mutual. That's like a what? Some $1,000 or some $100% more. What's it going to be next year? If it went from $3 to $2,000, if it went from $3 to $80 in 1 year, what's that check going to be in the next year? My grandfather was a very smart man. He knew what he was doing. He knew who I was. Before I knew who I was, he had passed away. Now, he set something up before I was born, basically, where I get money on a yearly basis from Mass Mutual. Now, I got $3 last year. I got $80 this year. What does that mean for next year? It's like he's long gone since 2008, but it's like he's still paying me. Like, it's something my grandfather did years ago, knowing who I was before I knew who I was. He set something up where, like, I'm getting dividends from something that my grandfather did many years ago. This is very profound. There's a shift in wealth that can come in ways like you don't quite understand. Mm. And then, it's funny to like see these people being propped up, like they use them as like a dark harvest. If you see the way like Sarah Adams is being like demised, like she has no cult of influence. Brian saying the idiot came in and Brian saying was like, oh, I'm gonna be her handler now. Like I'm gonna be, and like little did he know, like no one actually likes her, right? Same thing with all these like Jezebel spirits. Come away from her, my people. You got to stop helping women who are falling into karma for the choices that they made. The choices that they made, they're now experiencing the consequence of the choices that they made. And the Bible says, come away from her, my people. You have to get away from women, even if it's your mother, honestly, because that's the Bible. Get away from her, my people, so you don't suffer in her plagues. Her influence is ruining your influence on a future outlook of the way things should be. Matthew 24, it says, I'm coming to paint every family member against every family member. If you look at the way I am with my family now, you wouldn't believe we didn't talk for a year. You wouldn't believe it. But it's great now because we took that time to reconfigure our situation. Now, a lot of people haven't had the courage to do that. But this is also falling into the economic surplus of the future, coming away from bad situations, from bad influence. A lot of women have bad influence over your life. It could be your mother, it could be your sister. It could be your mother's best friend. It could be wherever your money comes from. It could be whatever is controlling your mind that is negative. It's lustful, it's greedy, it's dirty, it's garbage, it's filthy. Come away from any influence that is lustful, greedy, dirty, filthy. Any of it. I think I made my point. I had some notes here. What's M24? M24, what is that? M24. Well, maybe that's just it for now. I got a lot more to say as time goes on. My TikTok was deleted, so I have a new one. It's Lauren Pritchard 48, so you can find me on there. That's it for now. Have a beautiful night. Talk to you again really soon.